Abusiafo me checha me gire se obi ahoye yengura politics ne yenhwa de we ye member of parliament for Okankwe Sad Yaw Boamah lawyer we pia bonten the buofo we dwa life pa e de na asi o se the NPP for aye na de bi especially the national executive and I say party leadership o man na de bi stay here what said here
Bernard,
just a quick question. Does the caucus take a position for these type of meetings, or you go as individuals?
the caucus should have met to discuss the caucus's position. But you see, when I got there, I asked for the agenda for the meeting, and there was no agenda. So some of these things were originated by some people within the council.
In the course of the meeting?
That was what I was
Which means
briefed.
if you are new, for example, what the subject matter of that meeting would be.
You could have written a position paper on it.
For that to be read on your behalf,
Yes.
and then so as we speak, your voice was not probably heard on that debate.
No. But I've stated on various platforms that I'm against this approach of selecting a flag bearer when we haven't fixed the party. We need to fix the party. We need to fix the party to make the party attractive again, to be able to win a general election. That is why I said we need a very organized and disciplined party to elect a president, not a flag bearer.
so na Professor Amakye Boateng or Department of Political Science or Ken University or this pia bonten for be church and se bi mu professor say we hunu bibi wo NPP in fact what drop your political secret in NPP no was say the ha
say Osha executives ni nyina they are doing everything in favor of Dr. Boamah. From where you sit, is Boamah likely say or be retaining to lead NPP now?
Meaning the dynamics in the party.
94.
But what I know, and I can speak with authority, is that Dr. Boamah is not becoming a president of this country. I'm absolute on this.
now me the full video ni nyina no ebeto so e de ama no netie lawyer Yaw Boamah say party ni hwehwe bi why so mo say fix the party na munya say mo ko yi flag bearer na wonte ase no bi bisa say ade na sisi ade wo unity ade o kana no tum de ne koso parliament wa chechirem yentie ya lawyer Yaw Boamah na iwia na etie Professor Amakye ono nso ne research and nema waya was wahunu NPP party mu a odi abetudwa. I mean, some of them look so shocking, but SUT, drop your comments, hide the reason so you're from Odisheba. A critical analysis and politics, I mean, that's democracy, it's numbers. The course so about to only claim the EPA and some organ of Utrim, the Oho, say in the city, yenya time, ahwehwem, and okre, say win ABCD, the course, the money dangerous in Yana. And our channel also wait much around your comment session. You're from Odisheba. Yentas Yenti Yaw Boamah, Iwia, Amakye Boateng, Yenti Omu.
The tenure of office of the polling station executives, the coordinators, the constituency executives, the regional executives, the national executives, will come to an end very soon. And are we saying that they are going to be the focal group to elect a candidate for their party to run for the elections in 2028, when their time is near, when their performance produced the results that we had? Don't you think, as a reasonable party and within the spirit and letter of our constitution, find a way to overhaul the structure that gave us the results? I'm not saying that the polling station executives and the officers did not do what they had to do. Some did, some didn't. And I'm telling you that somebody is sitting in Okankwe Central whose ambition is to become a polling station executive in the next election when the polls are open, nominations are open, so that that person can also come and say that, look, I want to be a polling station chairman here because I identify these issues, and if we put in the right measures, we should be able to overturn the results in, let's say, MESPA school. Somebody also wants to be a constituency officer. a regional officer, and a national officer. As we sit, our national chairman is indisposed. A big party like ours is on the shoulders of the general secretary.
There's no interim chairman?
No. It's the acting chairman, the first vice chairman, who has even called for all the national officers to vacate their positions.
He has called for that. Wow.
So I'm asking you, Bernard, as a party, we've gone through reforms, we've gone through changes that led to the election of President Kufuor in Legon and also in Sunyani, and subsequently he became the president of Ghana. This party has produced 2 presidents. We are fortunate to have 2 sitting former presidents alive. I'm calling on them to call for some action and order in the party, because this party produced them. If we are going through this turmoil, we ask that they call people round the table and have a heart-to-heart chat with them.
Are you a member of National Council?
I'm a member of National Council, National Executive.
By
virtue of my chairmanship as the chairman of the subsidiary legislation.
Were you at the meeting they held to deliberate on this issue of the sequence of voting?
Okay, there were 2 meetings on that day. And because of the vetting of the justices, I went for the NEC meeting. So when the minority leader came, he asked that myself and the deputy leader, Madam Patricia PJ, go to Parliament to take care of the vetting of the justices.
Whilst he goes to the
Yes,
National Council meeting?
National Executive.
Executive meeting.
That was in the morning. So we left the venue because I had asked the General Secretary when I got there whether a decision was going to be made for early Congress. And he said, oh, he wasn't too sure about that. But it could come up. So when I went back, the leader came after the first meeting, that was NEC, and told me that, oh, he was going to go for the council, but we should stay and continue with the vetting. That was what happened. But Bernard.
Just a quick question. Does the caucus take a position for these type of meetings, or you go as individuals?
The caucus should have met to discuss the caucus's position. But you see, when I got there, I asked for the agenda for the meeting, and there was no agenda. So some of these things were originated by some people within the council.
In the course of the meeting?
That was what I was.
Which means if you had knew, for example, what the subject matter of that meeting would be,
you could have written a position paper on it.
For that to be read on your behalf,
Yes.
and then so as we speak, your voice was not probably heard on that debate.
No. But I've stated on various platforms that I'm against this approach of selecting a flag bearer when we haven't fixed the party. We need to fix the party. We need to fix the party to make the party attractive again, to be able to win a general election. That is why I said we need a very organized and disciplined party to elect a president, not a flag bearer. Because those declaring to be flag bearers and what have you, what are we standing on? What are we going to be standing on to win a general election? What some of my people forget is that what led to our abysmal performance was the lack of public trust in our party. And we need to build that public trust and confidence again. Because it cannot be that you go into an election and produce this result and all you are interested in is to electing a flag bearer. Nobody does that.
What I've been told, but I think I interviewed the General Secretary here, one of the things I heard was that sometimes you need to stop the war of attrition. And I suspect they feel that there are too many elections. All these levels of elections will further divide the party. And because the party is already divided, if you meant it by choosing the leader, those at the bottom have no reason to fight because they will all have to rally behind the leader. That's the logic. I'm not saying I agree with the logic, but that's my understanding of the logic.
I've been in this business way before the General Secretary. I'm telling you with all due respect. I was in Sunyani for the election of President Kufuor. the contestants at the time, Malik Alasan Yakubu, J.H. Mensah, J. Kufuor, Nana Akufo-Addo, Kofi Konadu Apreku, Kodua, and co. Big boys in the party. They all respected the will of the Congress that elected President Kufuor because they put in place the right measures and everybody saw the transparency in the process. And they respected the party's choice. My view is that if you don't take care and you purport to rush the process and somebody feels the process was skewed one way or the other because the Electoral College was not reformed to reflect the times. How can you call that person to come and join a campaign wholeheartedly? That must be a source of worry to any of the aspirants who are declaring or who have declared so far, that you need to carry the entirety of the party, the spirit and the body of the party behind you. I'll give you one example. When Nana Akufo-Addo beat Alan Kyerematen in 2014, Alan Kyerematen followed Nana Akufo-Addo. President Akufo-Addo?
Yes.
Excuse my language.
Yes.
Across the country, and was even the one introducing him before he spoke on the campaigns, because he knew the outcome of the elections was fair. That was under
this is 2014.
Yeah, Foucault and
Cabinet
Japan. That gave us that big victory because there was transparency in the process leading up to the election of parliamentary candidates and also the flag bearer. And you saw what happened when people were not given the opportunity, suspension here and there, you are not qualified. It gave us that result in 2020. Like I said earlier on to you, that we're being told spiritually to look internally and reform, but it fell on deaf ears. But I want to believe people have started writing opinions about the Constitution. Yeah, the Constitution may say one thing, but you have to also look at the realities and how reasonable the processes are so that the true will of the delegates or the party is realized to enable us present.
So let me just understand the position. You're saying that the choice of, or the decision to choose the flag bearer before going through the process of choosing national officers, regional officers, constituency officers is the wrong sequence.
It is a wrong
number
sequence.
one. And number two, that then means that additionally, the people choosing that flag bearer may not even be legitimate because you cannot use the same electoral college or the same executives who led you to a defeat in 2024 to oversee a 2028 presidential choice.
Because these executives were the same executives that elected our former vice president and our former flag bearer, Dr. Boamah. You understand? And the reforms that is being proposed is that, we maintain the 5 polling station people and add 2 people. How are you going to elect them? How are you going to elect the 2? Who is going to conduct that election? And, when you receive constitutional amendment proposals, the Constitution also tells you that 1 month to the conference, you need to circulate those proposals to the constituencies for an input. They also need to make an input when they come to Congress.
You didn't see those?
I haven't seen the proposals. I'm a constituency member.
But they will bring them to Congress. I'm told they said they are doing conference also in July. We are in June.
So you
haven't seen them yet?
I haven't seen. And you need to also even organize constituency conferences, regional conferences.
To discuss these proposals?
Yes.
So a lot of things seem
they are all in the constitution of our party. I don't
lead. What say Osha executives they are doing everything in favor of Dr. Boamah. From where you sit, is Boamah likely or be retaining to lead NPP now?
Minimum the dynamics in the party. But what I know and I can speak with authority is that Dr. Boamah is not becoming a president of this country. I'm absolute on this.
He is not becoming a president.
No.
Hey. Wow.
He operated within a particular time period. There were certain conditions. A man, the emergence on the political scene, those conditions are no longer there. And so people have gone back to themselves. Their real values are now going to tell them who to put out as the leader of the country. Democracy is a game of numbers. Democracy is also called majority rule. From every angle, Dr. Boamah comes from a minority group. The majority of Ghanaians are not voting for him. Human beings, we go into politics with our identities.
Ezra,
and
94.1.
These identities, ethnicity, religion. In Africa, in the literature, it is established that ethnicity is the mode of political organization in Africa. It is not only in Africa. In the United States, ethnicity is the mode of political organization in the United States. The white people of America like a Donald Trump. They don't care.
But Dr. Boamah Bekachro says so because the Muslim community identity in Tinwulu Sudia, Reverend John Kodua in Tim Kodua on the constituency of Krano. On the Boamah be chain the also so it cannot be true from Dr. Boamah.
Dr. Boamah Kofa Reverend in Tim Kodua's example or the I'm looking at conditions in the world. In Canada, ethnicity became an issue. The people of Quebec wanted to break away. In Great Britain, the Irish only ethnic politics. In Spain, the Catalan people, they are still struggling to break away in ethnic politics. Dr. Boamah, I think he's good speaking about economic issues.
I've heard you on occasions. I will root to say NPP Dachi. I may stand for correction. A compre Japan. But we hear the members of parliament need to pay dinner chair. Over the
members of parliament, I want to see you positions ahead of time. One is our favorite, Dr. Boamah. Their best bet, Dr. Boamah. And so they are moving ahead of time to rally around him. The members of parliament, they eventually don't vote or don't determine who becomes the president of Ghana.
94.1.
They don't.
And you're still convinced that Dr. Akompre Japan the good bet for NPP.
Timing at this material moment in time. Crisis of Ghana revolves around job creation. Of all the people who want to become the flag bearer for the NPP, or not the bet me a casafa in Numa. No, I can say, what Timia to Adamo, Edin Tiasebi, Ama Numa, Ewo or Maimu. Mean yet a study, but I don't want to believe that he is a fabulously rich person in the NPP. But Mijidi said, we're creating jobs than any other person in the NPP in Ghana. The question is, why? I don't know why University Nisika or outside the country, given the fact that the CD is not stable. It has been unstable for a long time. Has he got the opportunity to invest outside? This means a lot.
Obeweka said creating job in a personal capacity is totally different from becoming a president now in creating jobs. The systems
the
will even fight
principles are
you.
the same.
The systems, Obeweka said Ghana system will even fight you.
The principles are the same. One, so who have faith in the private sector,
Ezra,
you empower businessmen and
94.1.
women to do their work. They wouldn't need faith in the private sector. Now, over we are a statist approacher, and also you use the state to create business, to create jobs. The principles are the same.